Welcome back, everyone, to the 100% free-to-play Shadowverse Worlds Beyond Zero to Hero series. And today, becoming a hero, one more step on the journey is exactly what we're trying to do. As you can see on the screen here, we are in the critical trial period, trying to raise our rank to, I believe it's A rank. It's the next step in our hero's journey. Let me flash on the screen real quick the deck I've been using. This is actually technically kind of a continuation of the Can I Win With What I Open? I opened up a Titania, which I actually think is really good. If you look through here, I've got a lot of one-ofs that I'm just kind of testing out right now, and I've been kind of slowly honing the deck. I've actually played this deck quite a bit now. I think Reina is really interesting in here. The game plan is basically, for starters, the main card I'm testing out right now is Amataz. I've got basically everything out of 3 of that combos well with it, which is basically Fairy Tamer, Fairy Fencer. Fairy Fencer seems great, by the way. Fairy Convocation, good Fairy of the Pond. These are the cards that are going to give us these big turn 3 Amatazes. It's been doing okay. Cynthia has been feeling absolutely insanely powerful. I still think it's like maybe one of the best 4-drops in the game right now. Glade, I think, is just absolutely incredible. I have 2 Aria. I'm very likely going to end up taking the Forestcraft starter deck to go up to 3 of both of these, and then pretty much try to kind of focus on this deck, get another Cynthia, and then craft the 3rd one. And then I basically got all the parts. And yeah, like I said, just a bunch of other one-ups, as you can see, just kind of testing, see how I feel. This Ambush from Above I've actually been pretty pleasantly surprised by, especially the way I've been kind of playing it in this deck, which is basically turn 3, you often end up playing 2 fairies out and then use that. It's actually been pretty strong. So let's see if we can do this. We've already got 1 win going into this, up against Abysscraft. So we need, I think we just need 1 more win here, and we're going to get our next leg of the journey done for becoming a hero here. All right, here's what we got. We got a Fairy Convocation. We are going first. Opulent Rose Queen we obviously don't need. Is Opulent Rose Queen even playable in a completely fairy-focused deck? I still am not sure on it. Probably going to leave that as a one-up for quite some time until I feel pretty confident one way or another. Fairy Convocation. Honestly, this card really is, feel like, not bad at all as a turn 1 play. And I like the rest of the stuff. So I've got basically turn 1, turn 2, and I've got turn 4 and 5, and I'm going first. Hey, there's a Godwood Staff. This is probably going to surprise some people. I watch a couple other folks on YouTube. I watch basically Prussia SV and Ignitius, and I think Ignitius ranked Godwood Staff as the #1 best card of last set, and I've got it as a 1-of, and I don't know that I'm going to take it to a 3-of in this deck, which is crazy. I don't know, y'all. What do you think? I think I'm making a big mistake here. All right, this is going to let them get a Ghost. I'm just going to go ahead and Fairy Convocation for now. I will go ahead and do the trade. A lot of these Abyss decks right now that are running around have been pretty aggro focused, and so there is a chance I will just end up playing 3 fairies next turn to kind of fend off. All right, and yep, we will end up playing at least 2. Okay, they're gonna get 1 point to my face. You know what, everybody? A lot of people are enjoying trying to get these face Abyss decks right now, and this deck right here has a very strong matchup, I feel like, against that. All right, is it worth getting the other fairy out? Next turn, we're gonna Cynthia for sure, I have a feeling. The Glade likes to have a little bit of extra cards in the hand. Can't decide if I should keep it in hand or not, everybody. I guess I'll keep it for the Glade turn. Glade's usually always pretty strong. I just couldn't figure out, like, is it possible that they would have 3 fence or toughness on turn 3 that I might have needed the extra 1/1? I guess I probably should have went ahead and played it, shouldn't I have? Yeah, probably should have. Yeah, I don't know. That's just the toughest one. Let's talk more about these cards. This Cynthia. I feel like this is surely going to be a 3-of in literally every Forestcraft deck from here on, the Cynthia. I'm going to repeat myself from the last video, but let's just go ahead and do it, everybody. This 4/3 gold for 4 cost. Evolve, you get a bunch of 2/1s with Rush, and it can combo with your other fairies. And since any kind of these fairy decks is going to be playing, your win con is going to be this Aria, then it's just absolutely insane and massive late game. Okay, here comes the Glade, who's going to be absolutely bonkers. Glade is like one of the main reasons I actually wanted to play Forestcraft. This card and Cynthia both. I mean, man, what insane options are these? And by the way, everybody, this 2 mana gold spell, the Gardens thing, like I said, I've been watching a little bit of some other YouTubes, and I think somebody said that they thought this was like best card that was released, or like in contention for the best card. Man, I don't know. Am I just totally wrong? Am I totally off or what? Because I have this at 1 copy, and I haven't really felt like I really wanted to go up. I feel like every deck right now that's going so strong. Now, I'm playing this fairy deck. Most people are probably looking more at Roach, since that was like the really strong archetype from the last set. But yeah, man, I'm just really not seeing it there for that one. All right, here, since my opponent is still trying to just rush me in the face, I may actually end up going with Amataz. But then again, the Aria even sets me up for the Reina next turn. Or actually, no, it doesn't, does it? Actually kind of needed that super evolution. We're going to get 5 face. We're going to end up playing this Aaron against for sure, which I have a lot of thoughts about that card as well. I think we're going to end up just going for an Amataz, however you end up saying this guy's name. And we can Wild Profusion to buff him up just a little bit, and then potentially play a fairy out. Then we can be threatening pretty hard with the Reyna next turn. Could also just go ahead and play the Aria and be still threatening pretty good next turn. But I think let's get a little bit of some defense out here. Get that. And we'll get in for 5. All right, it's good enough for now. I could also evolve this guy since it's a pretty fast match that we're playing, but I guess I don't know this matchup well enough, unfortunately, since it's still a little bit early against these crap players. We have a pretty strong hand. This is going to be an interesting match to see who can end up winning this one. Let's go ahead and talk about this Aaron here. I don't really think the Aaron is that great, to be honest, especially since I'm just assuming still Orcuses are going to be running around all over the place. Odins, it seems like, are starting to run around a lot. And Puppet has a new card that makes another Lloyd as well. It's going to be so heavily meta dependent, and even then, yeah, I'm just not sure about it. Okay, here, this is actually looking not too bad. We can end up, they've had to burn a super evolve. We can Aria them. Aria is going to kill the 7/7, and then we're going to have enough fairies on board to also kill the 4/4 off. The other option would be this Aaron, which I'm looking at this, and my thought is that that is just straight up better. And we could even get a super evolution on it. It'll be pretty beefy. That ended up being better play for this match, so let's go ahead and try it out. What does this do on death again? Okay, you get a bat. If they Cerberus me, let's see, what I can't even remember what the base stats are on Cerberus. Does Cerberus get through a super evolved Aaron? All right, well, let's find out, everybody. Now, the problem is, this is where you're going to see why this card may be a little bit lackluster here, because it's probably going to get Odined. I have a strong feeling here. I have been seeing quite a bit of Odins, and all right, look at me, everybody. I can predict the future. Now, they are out of super evolutions. They're only going to be able to deal 7 here. Our Aria's coming in, and it's basically going to depend if they can finish that last 6 on us. Oh boy, alrighty. I think we're going to have to basically play the Aria and hope for the best, and then we'll have this Reyna follow-up to potentially kill him on the next turn. We are at 6. This is one thing that I feel like Forestcraft is missing a little bit, potentially, is a little bit of some way to heal. Look, everybody, see, I still didn't play the Godwood Staff. Why do I not really like the Godwood Staff? Yeah, I feel like there's just so much stuff floating around in this game. So many strong, powerful cards that I feel like I don't even really have time to play the Godwood Staff. Now, again, of course, in the other types of decks, and by the way, since I don't have time to that, I should have already actually done this first, but we are going to go ahead and cycle this. This card, it doesn't even really draw. Like, again, maybe this is just not the right deck for it, but you're only cycling 2 cards for 2. You're not even getting any actual true value. You're just cycling. You lose 2 cards and you gain 2 cards. All right, so my opponent is completely out of evolutions. It'll just depend on if they have enough to burn me out. For example, with the 2-mana spell, if they had randomly have 2 copies of that, get to burn me out. If they don't, then, well, we get to show off the power of this Reyna. Uh-oh, everybody. That's the first one. Are they bluffing, or are they slow playing me, kind of BMing me a little bit here, or are they going to just randomly concede after they make me wait for 2 minutes? All right, well, you all aren't going to see it because I'm going to cut it out of the video final take, but my opponent is, in fact, BMing me, making me wait a very long time before they play out their final cards. Oh boy, and that's it, everybody. All right, we are going to take it down, and that should be a promotion. Wow, all right, 2 wins in a row. Look at that. Hey, I'll take it, everybody. You can stay low rank. Maybe he's in a trial too. You get to stay low rank. That's your punishment for BMing me. All right, everyone. Quick intermission, as is tradition. Got 20 keys. Let's open them 10 at a time here. Can we get anything excellent here before we... Ooh, Neptune. I needed that pretty badly. Ooh, and a Grand Prix ticket. Wow, this was an excellent 10 pull, everybody. Wow. This Neptune, I feel like, is a must-have 3-up for Dragon right now, personally. And about a pack's worth of rupees. That was pretty excellent. Ooh, and a pack ticket. Jeez. Wow, 2 pack tickets? Holy moly. Plus 200 rupees, 2 vials. That was insane. All right, let's just finish up with these. Another Grand Prix ticket. Dang. All right, let's finish the video up. But wow, pretty good park key pulls. Holy moly. All right, everybody, that's it. Here we go. Here comes the rank up. A0 rank up. All right, everybody. The next phase of the Zero to Hero series. Pretty cool. I absolutely love these animations, by the way. So we are officially done. We started this off in a series of a Can I Win With What I Open series. I opened a Titania. I'm going to go ahead and say on this 3-match win streak that I was able to successfully complete my self-imposed little challenge and mission here. Let me go ahead and run through, everybody, a couple of my thoughts on some of these cards. Opulent Rose Queen. This is going to be a lightning round, everybody. My current thoughts. I have played the deck quite a lot. Here's my current thoughts on these cards. Opulent Rose Queen, is it kind of maybe a little bit too slow? 9 mana, then you have to wait until the next turn. Probably just a little bit too slow, especially as things just keep, they're going to just keep getting power creep, and you've already got all these crazy finishers. Odin's running around in the game all over the place, finishing matches constantly. Aaron, it's just all going to depend on the meta with Aaron, but the thing is ultimately with Aaron also, would you even play Aaron over another Odin? And in this particular deck, you're kind of trying to set up for this win where you basically play an Aria, and then you can follow it up with a Cynthia. You could even maybe, we're going to see, is this going to be good enough, everybody? This Reyna, I've been playing a 3 to kind of test it out, randomly open 3 super early on. It's feeling pretty decent to me so far. This Reyna for 7 mana, you pair it, like you could, if you have the craziest match ever where you end up saving a play point until turn 10, and you, of course, you got your Aria out, this deck is going to need 3 Aria. I haven't gotten it yet. I'm probably going to take the starter deck. So in my opinion, it's going to be 3 Aria for sure. In my opinion, it's going to be 3 Titania, I think. Definitely 3 Glades. Absolutely 100% sure 3 Cynthia. That'll have to get upgraded in this deck. Olivia, I'm not really feeling it with Olivia. I think Olivia is going to have to go. I think I'm going to end up cutting the Olivia. I'm not sure why I would play it in this deck. I haven't really seen any strong reasons. So let's go back to this Aaron. Because of the way this deck is trying to win, I think Odin is probably just going to be better than Aaron. I was also trying out Selwyn as well. This is a card I always felt was really strong from set 1, but now I'm just realizing playing this deck more. I think that the Odin, it's basically just a straight upgrade from the Selwyn. It's just better. So it's basically Selwyn just got power crept, I think, into Odin. So I think if you ended up like now, Selwyn is basically operates. Everybody's running around playing Odins all over the place, right? Do they remember that there was Selwyn in set 1 that I don't know if anybody ever actually played the Selwyn? Odin and Selwyn are like, so Selwyn, it's like the poor man's Odin. So like if you didn't have the Odins, you could just play the Selwyn. It accomplishes a lot of the same stuff as the Odin. Of course, Odin, I think is just straight up better though. So, all right, how about this Lamaga card right here? Oh boy, this has been kind of a tough one for me to analyze, but ultimately I have not been a huge fan of it so far. The games are going pretty fast. When you compare it to cards like Orcus and other 7-drops running around, you've got Norman running around now, you've got the Portalcraft 6-drop that's absolutely bonkers insane. They're just winning matches by themselves. This card is really not doing that. And there's so many things in the game now that just kind of clear boards instantly and are just so powerful, just board wipes and just crazy powerful stuff that it's like having this as a 10-10 on your board. I don't know if I've ever had it stick until the following turn. So it literally barely does anything at that point. And it's not really doing that much to the face. So I don't know. Maybe we'll keep trying it out. I'll keep it in the deck and keep playing with it. Glade, I still think to me, this is like one of the cards that drew me to Forestcraft. It seems just like absolutely busted. I think it's one of the best 5-drops in the game personally. In fact, I think this is a card that should be making lists of like best cards in the game, but maybe Forestcraft just doesn't utilize it as well right now. I personally, I feel like it's Anna Gray level. Titania, I also think is kind of up there in that sort of tier. I personally, this is probably one of the cards that I think the most of versus the other people that I've listened to talk about and people commenting. So I think this card seems absolutely insane. So I can pretty much look forward to seeing more of that channel. Cynthia, I think this may end up being the best 4-drop in the game, in my opinion. I'm making a lot of bold claims in this video, everybody. Amataz, we're going to come back. I'm going to make a dedicated video about Amataz. I'm going to try to record a bunch of matches where I get like the optimal Amataz starters, which I've had a ton. I should have already recorded a bunch of these crazy Amataz starters that I've had, where like I even played 2 back-to-back as like 8/8s and 9/9s. I want to do a dedicated video talking about that, but if you want a foreshadowing, I think Amataz basically fine. I think you'll randomly like win these random matches where they can't deal with it, but there's so much that does deal with it that I think you can basically just play this deck and it's not going to be OP or anything. It'll just be fine. Garden's Lure, as I already said, playing the matches. I think this is just the most overrated card. Maybe it's because I'm playing this version of this deck, whereas other people are trying to play like Roach versions where they combo their opponent out for just OTKs, but I'm actually thinking about cutting Garden's Lure, to be honest. I was trying out this Wild Perfusion. I've not been super impressed by it. It can randomly be okay. This Fey Twinkle Toes, this is one that I think people should keep in mind. You just saw me use it. It was either this video or the last one to pretty good effect. Yeah, it was against Haven. And during this critical trial, it was actually super good. And because of the way this deck is playing out with Aria, with Cynthia Chivalrous Elves, combos really well with Cynthia Chivalrous Elf as well. I would keep an eye on that, everybody. Fairy Tamer and Fairy Convocation, playing for the Amataz. Fairy Convocation, I feel like this card, pretty much no matter what in any kind of fairy deck, it's just a good 1-drop, I feel like. Turn 2, having 2 1/1 rushers is like a fine 2-drop, I feel like, in this game. Fairy Tamer, on the other hand, feels like a little bit of the weaker of the two, to be honest. Fairy Fencer seems absolutely fantastic to me. Great overall 2-drop. That's going to be in the deck for sure. May Journey Elf, I've been preferring this ambush from above personally. Turn 3, I feel like playing 2 fairies and then using an ambush from above has been pretty darn strong. Is it like one of the better 3 mana turns in the game to just play 2 fairies and play an ambush from above with combo? I think it's better than than just playing the mage or anything else. So at least in this style of deck, and Good Fairy of the Pond's going to stick in, everybody. All right, if you like these styles of deck, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out a lot, especially in these early stages. Hit a like on the video, comment, and all that algorithm jazz, yada yada. See you next video, everybody. Stay tuned, especially, and consider subscribing if you're interested in Forestcraft. I'm very confident I'm going to just go ahead and finish this deck off, and we're going to play it quite a few times on this channel. I have a strong feeling.